After the final bell of his legendary career, Lennox Lewis, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, walked away from boxing on his own terms, something very few fighters have ever managed to do. But what really happened to the man who conquered Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and Vitaly Klitschko? The truth is more complex and human than most fans realize. Lennox didn't just disappear from the spotlight. His life after boxing tells a powerful story about identity, purpose, and peace after years of chaos in the ring. When Lewis retired in 2004, he did so as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the last man to hold that title. He was 38 years old at the peak of his career and had proven everything there was to prove. Many thought he'd return, as so many boxers have before him, tempted by fame, money, or unfinished business. But Lennox was different. He made a promise to himself that he would never let the sport define his worth. After years of punishing training camps and brutal fights, he chose his family, his health, and his future. Life after boxing wasn't just about relaxation for Lewis. He transitioned into a new chapter as a commentator, mentor, and businessman. He used his platform to share wisdom with younger fighters and speak honestly about the dangers of the sport. Unlike many of his peers who fell into financial trouble or poor health, Lennox managed his career earnings wisely. He invested, stayed disciplined, and surrounded himself with people he trusted. This stability allowed him to maintain a balanced life, away from the chaos that consumes so many boxing legends. But even for a man as disciplined as Lennox Lewis, retirement wasn't easy. For years, he battled the loss of identity that often haunts retired athletes. The adrenaline of fight night, the roar of the crowd, the spotlight, all of it suddenly gone. He admitted in interviews that staying motivated was a challenge and that adapting to normal life took time. Yet, he faced this transition with the same patience and intelligence that defined his fighting style. He embraced a slower rhythm of life, traveling, raising his children, and rediscovering who he was beyond the gloves. Lennox also became a voice of integrity in a sport often clouded by politics and greed. He's never been afraid to call out corruption or demand better treatment for fighters. His thoughtful presence as an analyst brought credibility to boxing broadcasts and reminded fans that true greatness isn't just about knockouts. It's about class, composure, and intelligence. Even today, younger champions mention Lewis as an inspiration, not only for his achievements, but for how he carried himself after the lights faded. Still, behind the calm and confidence, Lennox has faced moments of deep reflection. He's talked openly about friends from the boxing world who didn't make it out as cleanly, men who lost their money, their health, or their lives. Those stories have driven him to speak up about mental health, brain injuries, and financial education for fighters. He's used his platform not to relive his glory days, but to ensure that others don't suffer the same fate as so many before him. Today, Lennox Lewis lives a peaceful life, often spending time in Jamaica, England, or Canada with his family. He stays active, trains occasionally, and remains connected to boxing, but from a place of wisdom, not competition. At 60 years old, he's one of the few legends who truly left the sport on his terms and never looked back with regret. In many ways, his calm and balanced post-boxing life is a victory just as great as any world title he ever won. Lennox Lewis's story is not tragic like so many others. It's inspiring. It's about discipline, intelligence, and knowing when to walk away. His life after boxing proves that true champions are not only measured by how they fight, but by how they live once the fight is over. So the next time you hear the name Lennox Lewis, don't just think about the powerful right hand or the stunning victories. Remember the man who mastered not just boxing, but life itself. The champion who chose peace over chaos, family over fame, and wisdom over ego. That's what really happened to Lennox Lewis after boxing. And it's a story every fighter should learn from.